Hello everyone, welcome to another Sports Overtime. Duke Schindler here with you on the desk this fine Monday afternoon as we got a lot to get through here. Vikings were on bye this week, at least they won the bye week there. And now we head over to NDSU as they were heading into Saturday to face their third straight ranked opponent team in number 9, Southern Illinois. A tough task ahead controlling QB DJ Williams, who's one of the top QBs in the country for the FCS. Go ahead and take a look at this. It had the makings certainly of a great game, NDSU and SIU. They were deadlocked at 10, nearing the half before a Cole Payton to Bryce Lance 9-yard connection. With 30 seconds left, would give the Bison the 17-10 lead before half. Then it was the defense that really took control of this game and made this a blowout. Only allowing 7 points in the second half and allowing the Bison to walk down the field. Where you take a look at Cole Payton, who had another outstanding game. He had a 41-yard touchdown scamper, and the Bison, they would run away with this one, 45-17. Payton, another efficient day through the air. 13 of 16, 243 yards and a touchdown. He's already rising to the top ranks of the FCS if he's not already there. But that Bison defense is showing why they're elite, forcing 2 turnovers and 4 sacks. A great showing from these Bison who stepped up in that second half. Here is Tim Polasek.
Us forcing the turnovers, the takeaways on defense is what we kind of asked those guys to do this week. I thought that was what created and cultivated momentum. And then what complementary football out of the offense. I think 3 turnovers, 21 points. And then we keep talking about the middle 8. That was a big deal. Getting that turnover or that takeaway and then going down and scoring and then scoring coming out of halftime. Just really excited about this football team and the way they work and the way they play together. A lot of guys are playing good football.
Now we head to Grand Forks next, where the Fighting Hawks look to keep this impressive season alive. Hosting a fellow 3-2 game in Youngstown State and the Penguins, knowing this could be another great challenge for this UND team. And they start driving early and threatening early. Kaminsky in the red zone, couple pumps, rolling to his right and finding BJ Fleming right in the corner of the end zone to grab that touchdown for the early lead. Now we near the end of the first. For the Fighting Hawks, they're driving again. Well, there's Hayden Stay grabbing that touchdown and fooling everyone. UND lets up a touchdown, but striking back with another one of their own. Handoff for Gavin Zebart up the middle with that nasty stiff arm, some blocking downfield, and it's a rush to the end zone, diving in for another score. It's 21-7, with the Penguins threatening in the red zone now, trying to make it a 2-score game. They take the snap, and it's going to be blocked at the line of scrimmage right before half. Some great momentum there for the Fighting Hawks heading into the locker room. North Dakota struggling to move that ball in the second half, but here's your dagger. Zebart barely makes it in. North Dakota, they get the score and take it 35-17. Coach Schmidt feeling that this team is really starting to turn that corner.
There's a lot of work that goes into winning, and you got to be loyal to winning. You know, there's a lot of really good, I've been around a lot of really good players, throughout my career that never ever were able to earn a ring, and a lot of really good teams that I've been around that never ever won a trophy. And I think it just takes more than talent, and that's what we talk to our guys about, that, day in and day out, you got to be loyal to winning. You got to get up. It's relentless pursuit of continuous improvement. We have that written all over, our facility. And I just like their mindset. Our assistant coaches do a great job of spreading the messages. I think we have a good pulse on who our guys are and how they'll respond, to goods and bad things.
All right, so UND takes the win. NDSU takes the win. Both top 10 teams in the country right now, but there's going to be a matchup that everyone has their eye on. That's going to be coming in a couple weeks here with North Dakota State and South Dakota State with a special announcement. NDSU, they're heading to Brookings to take on those number 2 Jackrabbits. Probably the biggest game of that FCS calendar regular season year. It now has a time and a channel. So the game will be nationally televised. Now that's going to be either on ESPNU or ESPN2 with kickoff at 7 p.m. Now the determination of the exact channel is still up in the air, And through a press release, it looks like depending on how these games end up here this next coming Saturday, that will dictate whether the Bison will be on either ESPN or ESPN2. And we want to head over to the frozen pond here. Yes, hockey season is finally in full swing as we head to the newly named Grand Casino Arena in Minneapolis, or I should say St. Paul, to play the second of a split series versus St. Thomas, UND. They took game one against the Tommies 6-2. Bring this up here. And it didn't take long for things to get started. Not for these UND hockey fanatics. 10th team in the nation showing out early around the world. Then it's barred down for Cole Reshney. Ring him up. UND takes a 1-0 lead. And the Tommies looking to keep things close here. Scoreboard malfunction. Actually, it's still 1-0. Not for long, though. On the power play, off the goalie, ricochet, Lucas Wallen tie things up. And the Fighting Hawks were going to take that personally. Stuck down low, but they're going to go around the world, around the world. And then the bar down finish from Abram Wybe. As clean as it gets. UND retakes the lead and soar to the finish. North Dakota biding their time up top. Gets a couple opportunities down low here. Pressure on. Ellis Rickwood poking it in for that 3-1 lead. UND, they cruise to the finish in a 5-2 game. And a great way to start that season for the UND Fighting Hawks. But before we let you go here, Fargo Forest also hitting the road this weekend to Kearney, Nebraska for Game 2 against the Tri-City Storm. Now, the Forest dropped Friday's game in a 0-4 shutout, but they certainly rebound on Saturday. Didn't take long to get out of the gates. 28 seconds to be exact. That's when Garrett Lindbergh would silence that crowd early to take a 1-0 lead. And nearing the end of the first, Luke McNamara would add a second for good measure. That would make it 2-rip. And then Ajay White between the pipes, saving 29 of 30 shots. How about that? Not letting up a goal until almost 5 minutes into the third period. And then to make it a 3-1 lead, McNamara would add one more on the empty netter. Fargo splits the series in Kearney with a 4-1 win. That's going to be it here for your Sports Overtime on the Valley News Now Network. With Duke Schindler here, we love doing this kind of thing. If you ever feel like you want to leave a Facebook comment, tell us how we're doing, what you want to see more of, or if there's any questions I can answer, feel free to drop something in the chat below. Otherwise, for Sports Overtime and the Valley News Now desk, Duke Schindler, we'll catch you later.